Hello, this is the Cobra WV580SPL, which is a self-propelled wheeled vac, and this is how it arrives. It's a big machine in a big sturdy box like this. So what we're going to do is take it out, and I'm going to show you how to assemble it and how you can use it in the garden. So here it is, all unpacked on the bench, everything you need to set it all up. So first thing, of course, it comes with the owner's manual there, tells you everything you need to know about it, and also the engine. We've got various handles that we need to attach, levers and that type of thing, cable clips, bolts and spacers, and then obviously we've got the main power unit here, and then we've got the collection bag that you also need and will be attached with a frame in there, and of course a spark plug spanner should you want to take the spark plug out. So what we're going to do first is to put the handlebar into position. So what I'm going to do is take these red nuts and bolts and just take those apart to start with. So we'll start with the handlebars, and what we need to do is just twist them around. It's packed for transit to take up minimum space. So you've got to just twist it around 180 degrees. You're going to need a little bit of help with this. And what you need to do is make sure the cables are on the outside, and you will need a bit of help. So if I can just ask Gareth to just hold that into position. There are two holes as well on the handlebar there, so you can choose which height you want. So we're going to take the top hole, and it's really simple. We just put a bolt from the inside outwards and line them through like that. Just get those into position, and then we can put the red nut on there as well. So we've got that nice and tight and sturdy. We have got some more levers to fit here, and we'll lift it down off the table for that, but just remember there are two cable clips here, so we're just going to fasten these on just to stop these cables from flapping around. And again, these can be adjusted afterwards if you need to, so just clip them round the handlebar just to hold these cables firmly in place. And one more thing to do, we've got these two rollers here, white plastic rollers, and these go on the front. So there's a hole at the corner on the front, and these are basically just to protect the plastic there. So we take them apart. So we've got the sort of bolt part there with one of the washers that goes like that, and then we can pop that on there with the second washer, and then there's a little wing nut there to tighten that on. So just put that on, pick up the thread and tighten that up. And then you may need a spanner, but you can usually just hold that to get that tight enough, and that will basically then protect if you hit something accidentally, and it won't damage the frame here. There we go, so that's that one on there, nice and firm. Now we can lift it down and we'll fit the handlebars. Next we can fit the drive handle here, this red handle. One comes already fitted, so don't worry about that one. And it's important we get this the right way. So if we look at the one that's already fitted, we want this one to be in the same position. So we've got the two prongs at this side. So what I'm going to do first of all is at this side here, we've got a cable, and we can loop that in, and again we're just copying the same as this side, so it just loops in there as it is there. And then what we can do is to put that into the hole there, and then just put a little bit of pressure on it and put that one in the hole there, so it slots in. So these are then spring loaded, and we can lift them up like that. So as long as you follow that pattern of the first one, you can't go wrong. This black frame is the bag hanger, and this goes also on the handlebars, and the collecting bag hooks onto it. So wants to be this way, so I'm holding it, as you can see, with the two squares towards me. Feed it underneath, and we've got two holes here and two pieces of metal there, two lugs, so they go into there, and then we just need to sort of spring it into position, so a little bit of pressure there like that. So that's now nice and firmly in place, and we can put the bag on it. And there's one more piece which is here, and this is the optional hose hanger. It comes with it, but the hose is optional, and that fits on like this, and again springs into position like that. I'll show you now how to fit the bag. So this is the bag, and it goes sort of in the upright position with this handle at the front. So if we hold it like that, we'll see here there are two sort of little rubber flaps. They're really important. So hold those like that, take it round the back, and then what we're going to do is to slide it into position so that these pull it to that position. All right, so that is now fitting snugly around that steel frame, and with these we can then basically just hook them onto the framework like that. So that stops that pulling off like that. And then we've got two little tabs here. One hooks on this side and the other one we can hook on this side just here. So just over the top, just making sure we don't trap any cables. So that is now firmly in place, and that's where everything will be blown into. And then what we need to do is to attach this then to the blower. So what we need to do now is to fit this piece onto there. So first of all, what we can do is open this flap up, and there's a lever at the bottom, and that will then lift up like that. Okay, and what we're going to do is slide this down into these grooves here. There's a groove this side and there's a groove this side, and you'll see there's a little contact switch. When it's slid into position, it closes the contact switch. If that isn't closed, then it won't operate. So it's just a case of lining it up like that, and we can see there that that contact switch has now gone into position and it's nice and firm, and we can then put that handle down. We now need to put some oil and petrol in it, so use the right type of oil, and this holds 550 millilitres, so just make sure you get the right amount. If you're using the Cobra oil, it's 0.6 of a litre, so we need a little bit left in the bottle, but what we will do is keep checking it with the dipstick as we go along. You can use a funnel, but there's quite a big hole there, so that's quite an easy one to pour. So we're just going to pour the oil in nice and slowly so it doesn't overflow. It's better to check it and add more because it's more difficult to take it out. So we've got the dipstick here, and although we would tighten it in when we finish, with this one we don't. We just literally dip it in like that and take it out. And I can see that I need a little bit more oil in there. It's not showing enough on the dipstick, so just a bit more oil. So now let's check it on the dipstick, and we don't need to screw it in, we just dip it like that, take it out. So I can see now the oil is clearly on the dipstick just there. So on the hatched bit, which is what we want anywhere in there, but at the top is ideal. So that is it, that is fine. So now we can tighten the dipstick in fully so that it can't vibrate out. And then the next thing is we need to put some fuel in. Okay, so we're putting some fuel in. This is clean, fresh fuel. This is E10, and never use old petrol that you've had in the garage for several months because it becomes stale. So nice and fresh like that, and that will give it a really good start and it will run smoothly. So that's it, we're now ready to go. We can put the cap on nice and tight, and then I'll show you how to start it. We're now ready to start it. So first thing is, when this is all put together, for transit, the deck is on the lowest setting. So it has got various heights here for when you're sucking up leaves or whatever the debris is you're collecting off your lawn. So just lift it up a little bit just to make it easier to start. And then you can always readjust it as and when you start to use it. Handles here aren't needed for starting. This back one is actually for an optional brush and roller drive, so that one isn't needed at this stage, and this one here is the drive, but we have to pull them both back to propel the machine forward. There's no choke, there's no primer. What we need to do is to set the throttle lever here about halfway, so when it's back it stops, when it's forward it's maximum rev. So I'm just going to set it about halfway, and then we can pull the recoil just here. Now bear in mind it won't have been started, you've only just put petrol in, so it takes a while for that fuel to get through the carburetor, so you do need to pull it several times. We've already started this one, and once you've got the fuel through it will go first time every time, hopefully. So here we go, let's give it a pull. pull the lever back to stop the engine. And there you go, that's the wheeled vac. Doesn't take long to put together, and it's great of course for clearing all those autumn leaves off your lawn. And there are a range of optional extras that you can purchase to do all sorts of things in your garden.
Remember to register your Cobra online at cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.